When you picture a Viking, you probably imagine a wild warrior in a horned helmet charging into battle, axes swinging, and ships burning behind him. But here's the truth. Vikings never wore horned helmets. Not once. It's one of the biggest myths in history. Archaeologists have found actual Viking helmets, and every single one of them is simple, round, and built for protection. No horns, no spikes, nothing flashy. In fact, only one fully preserved Viking helmet has ever been found, the Gjermundbu helmet, discovered in Norway in 1943. It's made of iron, has a rounded cap and a simple nose guard, and that's it. No horns, no wings, nothing that would make it into a Hollywood costume department. The idea of Vikings wearing horned helmets is a modern invention. It began in the 19th century, when European artists romanticized ancient cultures. In 1876, costume designer Karl Emil Doppler created horned helmets for Richard Wagner's opera cycle Der Ring des Nibelungen. The characters were based on Norse and Germanic mythology, not real Vikings, but the dramatic look caught on and was soon mistaken for history. Painters began adding horns to Viking artwork. Early films followed suit. Even schoolbooks and history illustrations repeated the image, cementing it in pop culture. By the early 1900s, the horned Viking had become so familiar that it felt like fact. In reality, Viking helmets were designed for protection and practicality. A horn design would have been unsafe. It could catch weapons or be grabbed during combat. Iron helmets were expensive, so only wealthier warriors likely owned them. Most others probably fought without metal helmets, using simpler head coverings or none at all. So if Vikings didn't have horned helmets, where did the idea come from? Long before the Viking Age, some ancient cultures did use horned headgear. The Viking helmets, discovered in Denmark in 1942, date to around 900 BC, during the Nordic Bronze Age. They feature large curved horns and were likely used for ceremonies or rituals, not warfare. These artifacts are far older than the Viking Age and not connected to Viking warriors. It's a classic case of history blending with imagination. Over time, myth replaced reality, and what began as stage costume ended up defining an entire culture's image. The real Vikings were explorers, traders, shipbuilders, and farmers, far more than the savage raiders we see on screen. They sailed from Scandinavia to North America hundreds of years before Columbus, built settlements, traded silk and silver, and left behind sagas that still shape our understanding of Norse culture today. They didn't need horns to be impressive. They already were. So next time you see a horned helmet, remember, it's not history, it's Hollywood. Unknown, but true. If you enjoyed this fun fact, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching.